You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! We're doing some huge things here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the Doug Stewart Show, and the biggest thing being broadcasting other shows. That's right, we're executive producing other shows and playing them on my network. You may have a fantastic show or podcast, but do you have listeners? We got listeners. Over 9,000 followers to the Doug Stewart Show on the Spreaker platform, as well as over 200,000 plus listens to the network itself. So here's what you do. Go to Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, and search the Doug Stewart Show or Stewart Media and Entertainment and get all the details. Or just hit up the producer, Tree at TreeAtTheDougStewartShow.com. That's spelled T-R-E-I. Tree at TheDougStewartShow.com, and come and do business with us on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW.
Doctor, this is the mayor talking.
All right.
Doctor,
Come on, what?
always do the right thing.
If you came here to hear for fake, you are in the wrong place. We are for real around here. We keeps it real. This is the Doug Stewart Show, the livest, the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America. Are you not entertained? This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show. Yes! Game time. Yes, sir. What's happening? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Wild Out Wednesday. And oh boy, got a lot of great things we're going to get into today, as we do every single day. And I say the same thing every day, but it's true every single day. Thank you so much for joining your boy. Bring that beat back one more time for me, one more time, though. Bring it back one more time. Bring it back one more time. Good morning. Good morning. Or good afternoon, or wherever the hell you at. Thank you for joining the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Wild Out Wednesday. Once again, man, the most fun, the most real, the trillest sports and guy talk show in America goes down right here every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Thank you for joining your folk, man. How you doing? So yesterday we celebrated the frat's birthday, 104 years of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and a lot of you, I could tell from the chat. And shouts out to all of the Stewies, everybody already in the chat room. Good morning to you. I can tell from the chat yesterday that y'all thought that I was going to go and abuse alcohol. I mean, I can tell that's what y'all were thinking. But I actually didn't do it last night, man. I'm actually fine. I'm good to go. Crazy thing happened last night. So we had this program. The Bros had this program down at Morehouse, the rededication, where we kind of like, it's a symbolic type thing where we rededicate ourselves to the initiatives of Omega. And so we had this nice program, suit and tie type thing, went down there for that. And afterwards, we're going to get loose and go to a little pub in the city. And I get out to this place, and I can't find a parking place within a mile of the damn, bar. And so I drive around for no lie, 30 minutes, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and the name of the spot is Boogaloo's. It's downtown off of Ponce. If you're from Atlanta, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I could not find a spot, man. They had a line coming out of the door so long. I mean, it was crazy. It was a ridiculous line. And so I drove around once again for 30 minutes, couldn't find a parking space, saw the line out of the door. It was already like 10 o'clock. I said to myself, you know what? This might be the first time this has ever happened in my life where I didn't drink or have a alcoholic beverage on Founders Day, but I'm going to hell home. That's what I did. And so I came home. I didn't get to kick it with the Qs last night, man. I mean, it's unbelievable, but I was just frustrated. I'm old. I'm still tired from last week when me and the old lady went to Miami, and I'm just old, man. I never thought in my lifetime that I'd see a day where I didn't have at least one drink for the Bros, for the Founders, but that's what happened last night. So I'm good to go. I know y'all thought that maybe there wouldn't even be a show today, that we'd do a best of or something like that, or I come in here, slurring my speech and intoxicated like I have done before. But not today. Not today. We're good to go, man. We're good to go. Hey, thank you for tuning in to the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to the Stewies once again. Already in the chat room. Fell P. Doug was an adult last night. I was an adult. I couldn't really do it real big anyway because I was driving. Usually what I do is I ride with somebody else, somebody that doesn't drink, and I have them drive me home. I do that Uber thing every once in a while as well. So last night I didn't do it. I did the adult thing. I came home. But what I did do before I left, if you're familiar with Atlanta, right there on Ponce, right near where Boogaloo's is a Krispy Kreme donut shop. and I happened to be driving by. And the first time I drove by, because like I said, I'd been riding up and down the street for like 30 minutes. The first time I drove by, I looked over there at the Krispy Kreme, and I didn't see the Hot Now sign on. And right before I left, I looked over there, and it was like the heavens opened up. It was like, that little voice thing or that sound effect they do when the skies open up, like heaven opens up to the world. Oh, dude, like angels singing. The Hot Now sign was on. So I got a dozen, and I mean, ooh. And I know y'all in the Northwest and the Midwest and the Northeast, y'all all up on that Dunkin' Donuts stuff or whatever. Dunkin' Donuts is all right, but it ain't no damn Krispy Kreme. And they got it, and it was hot. And I got a box. I went through the drive-thru, got a 12, a dozen, opened it up, and the glaze had set in the bottom of the box. That's how much glaze was on it, and it was hot to the touch. And so I tried to grab one of the donuts. I should have waited till I got home, but no, I couldn't do that because they were hot now. And so I reached down and grabbed one of the donuts, and it broke apart. That's how chewy and gooey and delicious it was and fun-filled it was. And so I pulled a piece off, and I stuck it in my tongue, and I burned my tongue a little bit, but that was fine. It was a hot Krispy Kreme donut. And when I brought it home for my wife and my daughter, they were so damn happy. If you've never had Krispy Kreme, because I know we got a lot of people that live all over the country, and Krispy Kreme is kind of like a southern thing, I believe. Okay, because I know they don't have them in the Northeast. They're big on Dunkin' Donuts up there. Dunkin' Donuts got that whole territory locked down. But if you're from the West Coast or the Deep South down there in Texas and Arkansas and all of that stuff, man, and you've never had Krispy Kreme, Lord have mercy. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Crazy. Crazy good. crazy good, man. That's right, food orgasm. My man Willie Davis says in the chat room, food orgasm. All right, listen, if you're new to the show, thank you for tuning in, man. We do this once again Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. We do top fives. We do birthdays, have a little fun with birthdays, Dougie Dailies. Obviously, we talk about sports and entertainment and all of that stuff, man. Give me a call. You can call the show at 404-382-0338 if you got a hot sports take. Or you can email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. But the easy way to be totally interactive is just to hit me up in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Hit the little chat bubble, and then you enter into a whole new world. And I call it the fantasy island of sports and guy chat, and its inhabitants are the Stewies. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They make the show. I mean, it's their show, really. I'm just kind of like a narrator. So today on the show, what we're going to get into? My thoughts on the college football playoff rankings that came out on yesterday. Cam Newton dancing. You see the title of the show. We approve all nay-naying on this show, baby. This story, and I'm sure you've heard the story, man. Some lady in Tennessee wrote Cam a letter voicing her displeasure and how offended she was because Cam was dancing in the end zone. Now, if you've listened to me on the Two Live Stews for the last 15 years and on this show for the last year or so, you know how I feel about this type of subject. I absolutely love it. But we're going to get more into the story and talk about it and some of the glaring issues that I have whenever you talk about this whole showmanship in sports and football in particular. We'll talk about that. LeBron James makes a move on a list. Johnny Manziel's in the news as well. And the Porzingis kid for the New York Knicks is balling out of control. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I lucked up. So let me tell you what I did. Oh, yeah. Today, we're also going to talk about the Doug Stewart Show Fantasy Football League. We didn't do it yesterday. And no, I wasn't trying to purposely not talk about it because I lost. Let's just go ahead and put that on the table right now. No, that's not the case. I just forgot. You know, I'm doing a lot of stuff around here. I'm actually producing and engineering the show myself over the last couple of days. Tree hadn't been here. So I got a lot of stuff. So I missed it yesterday. No offense to who won and who had a great week. We'll talk about it today, damn it. We will. But what I was going to say, what brought me to the fantasy stuff is I drafted the Porzingis kid, and I drafted Jerry and Grant. Who else did I draft? I think those were the only two, but Porzingis is the big one. I drafted those guys in my keeper league, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And wow, Porzingis is going to work out. He's going to work out real big. Damn, we got the wrong music playing, but it's okay. So he had a big game last night. We'll talk about that. We'll get into anything you want to get into today on the Doug Stewart Show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Shouts out to Pink Gator for this track. And whenever y'all hear that, the show is usually ending, but it's not. Trust me, we are coming back. All right? Don't go away. Keep it locked. This is the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're back. The Two Live Stews are back on air every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on WGST. It's sports talk with hot sauce. Special thanks to our sponsor, Bruce Hagen, at Hagen-Law.com for making it happen.
640 WGST in Atlanta. Search 640 WGST on iHeartRadio worldwide.
Yes! In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, What I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BV Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bvmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bvmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your number one advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975 and work it out.
We gonna be alright. We gonna be alright. Thank you. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Wild Out Wednesday. I'm looking at some of this chat here. It's crazy how you just mention any food topic in our society, in this country, and people are very strong on their opinions. My man Uncle Mike, shouts out to you, Uncle Mike. He made mention that Krispy Kreme is all over Los Angeles. I did not know that. Krispy Kreme definitely is a thing that started here in the South. I know that. They actually went public as a publicly traded company a couple of years ago. And like their opening, what do they call it? IPO, where you get some of the stock at the very beginning, was just like crazy. Because Krispy Kreme is kind of like a legend here in the South. And, I mean, it's delicious. And then I see my man Mike Barnes here. Mike Barnes says Krispy Kreme is just average, Doug. Sir, I'm nominating you for a Boiled Peanuts Award. What's your name? Mike Barnes? My man Mike Barnes. Let me grab my big pen. I want to make it emphatic. Mike Barnes, for the quote, Krispy Kreme is just average. Here we go. Mike Barnes nominated for a Boiled Peanuts Award because he uttered the words in succession. Krispy Kreme is just average. Yeah, you've been nominated, sir. Mike Barnes, you have been nominated. How dare you say Krispy Kreme is just average? How dare you, sir? And I know what the deal is. I promise you he's from the Northeast. In New York, Connecticut, we used to go to First Take, ESPN, every other weekend pretty much for like 5 years, over 5 years. And it shocked me that they had no Krispy Kreme up there. Once again, it's like this territory thing. But every single exit, the way that we have Waffle Houses off of every exit here in Georgia, they have Dunkin' Donuts off every exit in the Northeast. And so a lot of people up there argue, Krispy Kreme is too sweet. Dunkin' Donuts is the best. That's a damn lie. Krispy Kreme is the greatest donut in the history of donuts. How dare you? You got yourself a Boiled Peanuts nominee, sir. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougshow.com. So yesterday, the college playoff football rankings come out, and no change at the top. Coming in at number 6, Oklahoma State. Number 5, Iowa. Number 4, Notre Dame. Number 3, Ohio State. Number 2, Alabama. And coming in at number 1 is Clemson. Actually, there was one change. Oklahoma State was not at number 6. They come up 2 spots to the number 6 spot. So that's your top 6. So the 4 are Notre Dame at 4, Ohio State at 3, Alabama at 2, Clemson at 1. Couple of observations about this. And once again, I know it doesn't really mean anything at all. All of this stuff is going to play itself out on the football field, which is fantastic, which we all want to happen as college football fans. I mean, really, think back. I mean, just stop for a second. I'm going to move away from this conversation for a half a second. I think a lot of times we don't relish in positive changes. I think we forget about how things used to be and how much better they've gotten. We don't reflect upon that. Do you remember the BCS? Do you remember the BCS from just a couple of years ago? You remember it was basically like throwing darts on a wall, okay? And now we have a playoff. Praise God. We've been asking for a playoff for so many years, and we got it. And now that we got a playoff, now everybody wants to, argue about something different and talk about how the rankings aren't fair and why are they doing them so early. Man, just relish the moment, all right? Just sit back and smell the roses. You have a playoff. This is 100 times better than the BCS. All right, I digress. But Clemson is number 1. Obviously, they're probably going to win their division, the Coastal or the Atlantic, whichever one it is. I always get them confused. But they're going to probably play North Carolina State. Here's the thing about that I just realized in doing some research. And you think about it, it's really true. Clemson's going to play North Carolina in the ACC championship game. Right now, North Carolina is all the way down at number 17. They actually jumped up 6 spots from last week. 1 loss on the year, 9-1 on the year. Really having one of the best years North Carolina football has ever had. But when they take on Clemson, if Clemson loses in the ACC championship game, the ACC won't have a team in the college football playoff rankings. You do know that, right? That's one thing. Also, obviously, Oklahoma State moving up to number 6. Oklahoma moves up to number 5. This weekend, they both have big games in the Big 12. Oklahoma State is going to take on Baylor, which was everybody's, darling coming into the season. Oklahoma State's going to take on Baylor, and Oklahoma is going to take on TCU. Now, I think Baylor and TCU can beat anybody. I think Oklahoma State and Oklahoma are for real. I think they're for real teams and players in this whole conversation. But a lot can happen with that, because strength of schedule, if they beat 2 teams, Baylor and TCU that have, viewed upon over the last couple of years as very successful programs, that helps in their rankings as well as far as, good games, strong games on their schedule. So a lot of stuff's going to happen in the Big 12. Here's the thing about it, and this is why I keep saying this, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. They're going to have to go to 8 teams. First of all, it's flawed from the very beginning because you only have 4 spots, but you have 5 power conferences, all right, in the Big 5 power conferences. So somebody's going to get left out probably. Some team might get 2 in it once in a while, probably from the SEC or something like that. But you're going to have to move up just to make sure you get representation from each conference. I mean, it makes sense. So I guess I'm kind of complaining just like I just, scoffed at a couple of seconds ago. But you're going to have to at some point go to 8 teams to make sure you get coverage from every conference, show every conference a little bit of love, because right now that's not the case, okay? And I think it'll be better. I think they'll stop at 8 teams. You know how in college basketball, I don't even know what the number was before it was 64. Maybe it was 32. Maybe it was 32 teams in the tournament when it first started or whatever. But it's grown increasingly over the years. And I don't think it's going to be like that with college football, with this playoff thing. I think they're going to get to 8. I think 8 is a perfect number. But right now, man, this 4, I'm happy with it. So a lot to be played out in college football still to come. A lot. Ohio State's got a big game against Michigan State. So we're going to actually see if they're for real or for fake. And the kind of the feel I get is a lot of people don't feel like that Ohio State's for real this year, even though they bring back they bring back most of their team, most of the roster that won a national championship last year. Talking about the quarterback situation has always been talked about this year. It seems like they have too much talent. They don't know how to distribute, the minutes and the snaps to these players on this team. They got a big one this weekend against Michigan State. If they were to lose to Michigan State, I don't know why. I don't know what that would do, because Michigan State right now is all the way down at number 9. That would be a quality win. I mean, a big-time quality win. So we will see. We will keep our eyes on all of that stuff. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. When we get back from the break, we'll talk about some birthdays. Let me read some of your chat here, though. I'm going to jump on some chat real early, man. From Clay Davis's sheet advising college basketball, it started with the conference championships, making the tournament. Then it went to 32 teams and so on. So I was right about that. Eugene Jackson, Luke, there's an opening in Houston. From Texas Tide, Grego, and how much is Luke Walton actually coaching? Yeah, once again, and they're talking about Luke Walton and the Golden State Warriors. They win again last night. They are still undefeated. Hey, man, I'm telling you, somebody's going to steal. Somebody's going to steal my sentiments on this Golden State thing. Trust me, somebody's going to steal it. You're going to hear it somewhere else on a bigger stage, on the Puppet Factory or something like that. Somebody's going to steal it. The question is will they not win 72 games? The question is, will they lose 10? If you ask the question in that manner, I think you can feasibly and easily see that Golden State could match this 72 victories by the Chicago Bulls in 1995. Let me read more of your chat. From T-Biz. What up, T-Biz? T-Biz looks like a new chatter. From T-Biz, he says, why can't there be one release of the Final Four like in FCS, D2, and 3? Oh, yeah, more money and things to talk about on the 4-letter network. I mean, I don't think anybody's denying that. I mean, that's true. That's actually the case. Yeah, it's all about money. I mean, people tune in to watch this thing on Tuesday. I mean, it's a bunch to do about nothing. Really, it's not. It's totally made for TV. But hey, I ain't mad. That's what the Puppet Factory do best, is make cash. That's what they do. And it's kind of interesting. Just like fantasy football and fantasy sports has really, if you be honest with yourself, fantasy sports has made you more in tune with football and sports in general than probably any other thing that we've seen over the last 40 years. Like, you're paying attention to second-team wide receivers and second and third team, running backs. And it's because of fantasy football. You have more into it. It makes you more into it. And I guess the same premise for this whole college football playoff rankings. It puts you more in line, more in tune with exactly what's going on in college football. So I don't have a problem with it at all. That's exactly what it's all about. All right, when we get back from the break, man, Cam Newton offended a lady. When we get back from the break, I'm going to tell you why this whole Cam Newton story is nothing at all. Is nothing at all. And it speaks to the hate. And I even hate using that word. I hate using the word hate because the kids use it so much and I think they overuse it. But the hate is real for Cam Newton. Yeah. Don't go away. Keep it locked. This is The Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! We're doing some huge things here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the Doug Stewart Show, and the biggest thing being broadcasting other shows. That's right, we're executive producing other shows and playing them on my network. You may have a fantastic show or podcast, but do you have listeners? We got listeners. Over 9,000 followers to the Doug Stewart Show on the Spreaker platform, as well as over 200,000 plus listens to the network itself. So here's what you do. Go to Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, and search the Doug Stewart Show or Stewart Media and Entertainment and get all the details. Or just hit up the producer, Tree, at TreeAtTheDougStewartShow.com. That's spelled Trei. Tree at TheDougStewartShow.com, and come and do business with us on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your number one advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
One of my favorite ATL songs of all time right here. And it's not even about ATL, it's about Decatur.
Came up, came down, stayed down, grinded on, stayed real, caught the clown, took his crown with the steel, made moves, broke free, new deal.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Wild Out Wednesday, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. This segment is brought to you by our folks from BV Mobile Apps. That's right. Are you an entertainer? You need to have an app presence in 2015. Stop playing around, man. BV Mobile Apps designed the app for the Doug Stewart Show. They are fantastic, very functional, does everything I need it to do. So they specialize in apps for entertainers. So if you're a DJ, you have a podcast, you have a show, you're in the entertainment industry, that's what they specialize on as far as apps at BV Mobile Apps. So go online and check them out at B, that's B as in boy, V as in victory, mobileapps.com. Once again, bvmobileapps.com, and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Also, we're doing huge things here on the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, man. Do you or anyone you know own a business, have a product, or have an upcoming event that you'd like to be broadcasted to an audience of almost 10,000 followers? a network that has over 300,000 listens. That's right. We can interview you on the Doug Stewart Show, kind of like a promotional interview type, infomercial type thing right here on the Doug Stewart Show. We actually did one last week, man. Very successful. My man Brian Messiah sold several of the hoverboards by working with the Doug Stewart Show. So if you have a product or something like that, man, and you think an interview on the Doug Stewart Show, it's got to be interesting. We reserve the right of refusal. It's got to be interesting. It's got to kind of like be good to the listeners. But email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and let's do some business, all right? So I'm going to try to give this a little bit of background as I can before I get sick of it. But Tennessee Titans fan Rosemary Plorin of Nashville, Tennessee, attended Sunday's game against the Carolina Panthers with her 4th grade daughter on Monday. Damn, we should have had some soap opera music playing. On Monday, she sent a note to, what's this? The Charlotte Observer. All right, so this lady's in Tennessee, okay? But she sent this note to the Charlotte Observer to make sure Cam Newton could get a listen to it. It says, "Dear Mr. Newton, congratulations on your win in Nashville today. Our team played well, but yours played better. Kudos to the Panthers organization. That game happened to be my 9-year-old daughter's first live NFL experience." Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to skip down. "Because we had a close-up view of your conduct in the 4th quarter. The chest puffs, the pelvic thrusts." Wait a minute, is Cam like Elvis or something? This is a real note. You know what? I'm going to say this is a real note, but I almost think that this thing is some type of like made up type of stuff, like somebody concocted this whole story or whatever. But let me go on with the supposed letter to the Charlotte Observer. The arrogant struts and the in-your-face taunting of both the Titans players and fans. We saw it. I refuse. This is the young lady that wrote the letter. I don't know why I'm talking like a drill sergeant, but I think it kind of applies. "I refuse to believe you don't realize you are a role model. You are paid millions of dollars every week to play hard and be a leader. In the offseason, you expected to make appearances, support charities, and inspire young kids to pursue your sports and all sports. With everything the NFL has gone through in recent years, I'm confident they have advised that you are, by virtue of your position and career choice, a role model." This is unbelievable. "And because you are a role model, your behavior brought out like behavior in the stands." So evidently she's saying that when Cam started dancing. Wait. So what she's saying is when Cam did his little dance, okay, when he did his little dance, it inspired other people in the audience to, dare I say, dance. All right, I'm not going to read no more of this stuff. You get the gist of it. Most of you have heard the story. Once again, this is just one of the things that I've always hated about sports and about the reporting of sports and about the attitudes towards a particular group of players in sports, and in this case, a particular player in a particular position. You always know, and let's just be real here for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You've always known that there's always been an issue with black quarterbacks at the quarterback position in the NFL. I mean, you go back to Warren Moon. He had to actually go and play in Canada before he got a little bit of love in the NFL. The man's a Hall of Famer right now. You can talk about Doug Williams. You can talk about, so many quarterbacks have had issues at the quarterback position. And there's always this view. From, a certain portion of football fans or sports fans in general, that you should do it, this whole thing about doing it with class, and don't show your opponents up. First of all, Cam Newton didn't show anybody up. Cam Newton was by himself doing his little dance, whatever it is. It's not the nay-nay, but it's something else they call it today. Cam Newton is a young guy. He just scored a touchdown. He did his dance. Okay? He wasn't in anybody's face. He wasn't doing it in front of any of the Tennessee Titans players. They took objection to it, and they ran back, and they started something with him. But Cam didn't do anything. And if you've known and if you've watched Cam Newton over the years, Cam Newton likes to have fun, okay? The man's in the NFL. He probably came from humble beginnings. You know, he's right here from Metro Atlanta. And the man likes to have a good time. He danced. So what? And here's the bigger thing about that as well. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Here's the biggest thing about it as well. Is this is nothing new. You know, why is it so bad because Cam danced in the end zone? Ninja's been dancing in the end zone from back in the 70s. Quick story here, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and I took the time to pull it up and get the time frames correct. The great Billy White Shoes Johnson, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You remember that name. If you're my age, you know exactly who I'm talking about. The great Billy White Shoes Johnson played for the Houston Oilers from 1974 to 1980. Then he played for the Atlanta Falcons from 82 to 87. Finished his career with the Washington Redskins in 1988. 1974, your boy from 74 to 1980 is when he played for the Oilers. My first year playing Little League football was 1977. I really didn't do a lot that first year. I was just trying to figure out, how to survive out there against all of these killers. But starting in 1978, and this is no lie, and I tell this story to y'all think I'm joking. Y'all think I'm bragging, I'm boasting. No, I'm just setting the stage for this story. Starting in 1978, your boy was kind of a big deal in Little League football, okay? I kind of did what I wanted out there with that pigskin. I probably averaged, no lie, 30 touchdowns a year, 3,000 yards, no lie. And I used to dance in the end zone. I did Billy White Shoes Johnson's Funky Chicken. Shut up! My daddy didn't have a problem with it. So the point in telling you this story is that certain people celebrate different than others. Everybody isn't the same in how they celebrate. You're not a bad person if you celebrate or if you don't celebrate. Cam Newton comes from a different place than this lady that wrote this letter to the Charlotte Observer. I danced in the end zone doing Billy White Shoes' Funky Chicken Dance back in 1978, 79, 80, and 81. However many years I played Little League football. And nobody had a problem with it. At least my uncles didn't have a problem with it. My daddy didn't have a problem with it. I saw Billy White Shoes Johnson do it on TV every once in a while on CBS Sports, with Irv Cross and the great Jane Kennedy, and Brent Musburger, because we didn't get to see the Houston Oilers a lot, but so we saw the highlights every time, and every time Billy White Shoes Johnson scored a touchdown, your boy was inspired to score a touchdown too. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, hey, man, I don't know what it is. Let's be honest, man. Everybody that celebrates the end zone 9 times out of 10 is a brother. And I don't know what it is about us, about our culture, that we're a little bit more bombastic. We like to celebrate. We like to party. We like to wear flashy clothes. We like to dance. We can dance good a lot of times. And I don't know. I don't know whether it's a situation or like a lot of times historically, you've had tough upbringings, and when you've made it to a certain point in your life, achieved a certain level of success, then you celebrate. I mean, a lot of ninjas don't get the chance to play in the NFL. A lot of people don't have millions of dollars. A lot of brothers don't have millions of dollars. So you beating the odds. The way I look at it is you beating the odds. You are a millionaire. You play in the NFL. And if you're a millionaire and you play in the NFL, you've got a lot of popularity. People know your name. You got this big brand. That don't happen a lot of times in ninjas' families. And so I think we take any opportunity we can to celebrate. I don't know. But to this lady, man, in Tennessee, I even hate to even give her this much discussion. To this lady in Tennessee, maybe she's well off. Maybe she's had success all her life. Maybe she has so much success she doesn't see a need to ever celebrate. I don't think that's the situation for Cam Newton. Okay? This lady in Tennessee, what's her name? Rosemary Plorin. Bottom line, I think I just should have summed this whole story up by sit your ass down somewhere. If you don't sit your ass down somewhere and let that man go ahead and celebrate his touchdowns, and it ain't nothing new once again. It's the great Billy White Shoes Johnson, Chad Ochocinco, Terrell Owens. Johnny Morton used to do the little worm thing whenever he scored a touchdown. Johnny Morton used to play for the Detroit Lions. What? Why did this offend you? Because it was a quarterback? Cam Newton ain't like none of these other quarterbacks. He's his own person. Sit your ass down somewhere, Rosemary. The pelvic thrust. Didn't we hear that from Elvis fans? Or people that were very disgruntled with Elvis Presley 50 years ago? The pelvic thrust. This ain't 1960. Let that man do his nay-nay. Or whatever the hell it's called. Don't go away, The Doug Stewart Show. This your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
Vegas, I believe, is the only state, or Nevada is the only state where they have legalized prostitution in these whorehouses, and they call them brothels, and it's not in the city limits of Vegas in that particular county. It's like the next county over, and I've just heard all of this on the street. I just heard about this, but this is how it actually is. So like one county over, if you drive, and I think this story said it's like 70 miles where Lamar Odom was found, this next county over, they have legalized whorehouses. The technical term is brothels. Yes, Tree.
I mean, I'm going to say something that may surprise you. To be honest with you, like, they need to legalize it everywhere because...
Whoa. Wait a minute, Aunt Esther.
No. This is real talk here.
Okay.
The government has no business telling people where they can fling their cat, get their vitamin D. It's not up to the government to decide that. So while I wouldn't choose that as my lifestyle, shout out to Nevada for understanding that that's that woman's body.
Yeah.
And she can do what she wants with it.
In theory, I 100% agree with you. I didn't know we were going to start this social conversation on whores and whorehouses in America, but I agree with you, Tree.
I'm telling you, just stop it, government, and legalize the kitty.
Legalize? Wait a minute. I think we got a new moniker now for the show. Legalize the kitty.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Wild Out Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining your boy. I really do appreciate it. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. I'm going to get to some of your chat here in a second, some of your thoughts about some of the things that we've hit already today on the show. We also got to get into what LeBron James did yesterday. We'll talk about that. He passed a milestone, so we will do that. But first, let me do some birthdays, and then I'm going to get into some of your chat, man. Thank you for the chat. I really appreciate the chat. I got to keep saying that because the chat, you're kind of like my co-host, my wingman here on the Doug Stewart Show. I really do mean that. So you kind of spurring conversation and thought, and so I really appreciate that. Celebrating their 40th birthday today, Big Papi, 40 years old. And actually yesterday, he announced that this coming season will be his last season in Major League Baseball. So happy birthday to Big Papi. I mean, I like saying Big Papi's name. I like watching him play. Real fun guy. Big Papi be talking much smack. Big Papi, if this was an end zone, he would dance whenever he hits a home run. I like Big Papi, so happy birthday to him. Owen Wilson is 47 years old today, actor. Been in a bunch of stuff. Mike Epps. Mike Epps turns 45 years old today. Super funny guy. Real good friend of the Two Live Studios. I need to get Mike Epps. I always say that I'm going to get these guys on that I know I have a good relationship with, like Mike Epps and Morris Chestnut. And we got to do better, man, of that type of stuff and getting guests on or whatever. A lot of times, though, we kind of got the way this show kind of flows is just like me and my people talking. And I really don't want to have just average guests on the show. I need to have big guests. But Mike Epps qualifies as a big guest. I'm going to try to reach out to him, a real good friend of the show. He actually came. He was in town a couple of years ago when we were doing the Super Bowl party. We hosted a Super Bowl watching party, and Mike Epps came through with my man Henry Welsh. We've had him in studio several times, so I'm going to holler at him and see what he's up to, try to get him on the show. But he turns 45 today. Google, and a lot of you have probably seen this, Google Compton Thugs, or not Google it, go to YouTube and search Compton Thugs. It's this little skit with Mike Epps. I can't remember that lady name, the black lady. She has this real raspy voice, sounds like Louise Jefferson. And Mike Epps is in it. And just go to Compton Thugs on YouTube and check that out. Maybe I'll post it in the Doug Stewart Show chat room a little bit later. Fabulous. Rapper is 38 years old today. Happy birthday to him. Damon Wayans Jr. turns 33. Man, you know how certain kids look just like their parents? Man, this Mickey Ficky Damon Wayans Jr. looks so much like his daddy. It's not even funny. He looks so much like Damon Wayans. And he's pretty good. I mean, I've seen him in a couple of things. He hadn't really had like a big, opportunity yet that I can recall. I know he's done a couple of movies that I didn't want to see in particular, but seems like he got it from his daddy, man. Damon Wayans Jr. is 33 years old today. Happy birthday to him. Nate Parker turns 36 years old today. What has he played in? He was in that Tuskegee Airmen. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, the thing you'll remember Nate Parker from is he played a starring role in The Great Debaters with Denzel Washington. That dude, that brother. He's one of the young up-and-coming brothers that's going to get a shot to do movies in Hollywood. Because they only let like 3 or 4 at a time do movies in Hollywood. And so I always talk about who's next. Like when Samuel Jackson and Denzel Washington, when they go, like who's going to get those spots? Because there's only about 3 or 4 going to get those spots. All of the damn movies they make in Hollywood and all of the black actors in this country, there's only going to be 3 or 4 dudes going to get the Denzel and Samuel Jackson spot. And Wesley Snipes on a lesser degree. Allison Felix turns 30 years old today. Sprinter. Happy birthday to her. Who else? Speaking of Kevin Hart, y'all know who Ronnie Malco is? Ronnie Malco is the dude that had the argument with Kevin Hart in 40-Year-Old Virgin. You know that movie with, what's the guy's name? Steve Carell. He's the brother. He's been in several a couple of the newer movies. I can't remember the name of the movies, though. Kevin Hart's in a bunch of them or whatever. But go back. That's another thing you need to YouTube. Romani Malco. I think that's the way you pronounce his name. Romani Malco. He's the brother. If you go back to 40-Year-Old Virgin, Steve Carell's movie, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Romani Malco had the argument with Kevin Hart in the electronics store. And that, it's crazy. Matter of fact, I'll post that in the Doug Stewart Show chat room as well. Or somebody else, one of y'all posted in there as well. Real funny dude. He's been in a bunch of different movies, man. So happy birthday to him as well. If you got a birthday and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, email me, post it in the chat room. We'll give you some love, man. Huge audience here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Once again, close to 10,000 followers. Depending on how hot a story is, between 2,000 and probably 6,000 listens a day. If you talk about all our different platforms, we're talking about Twitter or Stitcher, iHeartRadio, iTunes, as well as Spreaker. Obviously, we're doing big things, man. Speaking of which, thank you to everybody that went on iTunes yesterday and gave me a quick review as well as rating on iTunes. It helped. If you didn't do it for some reason, please go and do it. Please go and do it. I got some things kind of pending on that, so make sure you do that for your boy. Let me read some of this chat. From Al Thompson, he says, I miss Joe Horn, T.O., and Steve Smith's celebrations. Yeah, them dudes celebrated like big time. Texas I hate when a defensive back celebrates like he made a play, but the quarterback just made a bad throw. Yeah, that's true. A lot of times, you're right. Quarterback just made a bad throw, but a defensive back, they celebrate like it's crazy. I get you on that. From Coop, Aaron Rodgers does the discount double check. Carson Palmer was doing the DX crotch chop. This thing is ratio. I do believe, and I talked about it in the when we talked about the Cam Newton thing. You know, it's glaringly obvious the issue that people have with Cam Newton. First of all, Cam Newton got haters, already. Cam Newton has had a hard way to go since he was in college. And now a lot of people can argue that a lot of the attention that he got was brought on himself by getting kicked out of Florida, having to go to the junior college, his daddy allegedly negotiating some type of under-the-table deal to get money to have his son go and play for Auburn or whatever school it was. But, man, I think I'm a good judge of personality and character. And maybe Cam did make some mistakes when he was younger, but Cam seems like a real good dude to me. He seems like a real good dude to me. I mean, seriously. Very smart guy, can play football. My gosh, his upside is just crazy, man. But Cam got a certain arrogance about himself, and you call it arrogance when people don't like you, and you just call it confidence when people do like you. And it's strange how some people are viewed as just confident and some people are called arrogant. I don't got no problem at all. I love me some me, bottom line. So I'm the last person that's going to get on a dude about arrogance or confidence, whatever you want to call it. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. All right, so it's the top of the hour, man. We got to go to a break. I promise you, when we get back from the break, it's hour number 2. All I'm going to do is rechat the entire segment. That's all I'm going to do. Quick mention. And then we'll re-chat the entire upcoming segment, all right? Sports Talk with Hot Sauce. Texas Pete Hot Sauce. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
Let me read more of this chat before I get out of here. Oh, my gosh. Okay, my man K3000. Yeah. If you're new to the show, K3000, he's kind of long-winded. We love him, though. So I guess this is why Tree's playing this music in the background. He says, Dougie, I feel you. People love making fun of people when they get caught doing something semi-wrong, like receiving extra like free shrimp. But they don't realize that a lot of these guys are effing starving and that they're effing restricted from even signing their name for gain. You give me a damn scholarship and I'm supposed to sign over all my damn rights, all my money-making potential. And if I don't comply, then you blackball me so that I can't make it to the next level to actually receive a check. GTFOH, he did a bunch of GTFOHs. CSI, this is the ish. I'm pissed off about too. That's like dude from Ohio State that actually went to court to get the rule changed and then got blackballed and lost at life. GTFOH, a lot of them. I'm totally with you, Dougie. I'm totally with you. Thank you, K3000. I'm with me too.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Hour number 2, baby. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. The world's heavyweight champion of sports and guy talk radio. Thank you. Shouts out to all of the Stewies on this Wild Out Wednesday. So today we aren't going to be able to play. Today we aren't going to air the Poe Politicking Show and the Kicking It with Kesey show. Had a technical issue, so we will play those shows for you tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. The Poe Politicking Show and the Kicking It with Kesey show right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Speaking of which, man, that's one of the big things we're doing here on the network is we're broadcasting other shows. Do you have a good podcast or show, but you don't have listeners? Once again, we do have listeners. We have close to 10,000 followers to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, and that's just on Spreaker. A lot of people listen to the network and to the Doug Stewart Show in particular on other platforms like Stitcher, iTunes Radio, iHeartRadio as well. So the numbers are probably way more than that. Over 300,000 listens to the network, man. So if you got a great product show that you like broadcast in front of a lot of different followers, people following the show and the network all over the world, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get to the chat, man. I told you I was going to get to the chat, man. Tree isn't here once again, so I'm doing a lot of this myself. I want to get to a lot of this chat. Thank you for the chat from Grego. And Cam may have tried to pay tribute to Elvis, being that they played in Tennessee. Trust me, I don't think you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show talking about the Cam Newton story. I don't even know if it's a story. Some lady in Tennessee who need to sit her ass down somewhere wrote a letter. Just resetting for people that are just tuning in maybe. Wrote a letter of displeasure to the Charlotte newspaper, and they made it public about how she was offended and it was offensive that Cam Newton scored a touchdown and did his little dance thingy. I say to LA, sit your ass down somewhere. Let's see, more chat from Vince Wright. Normally, the white chicks like the brothers with the pelvic move. So yeah, that's funny. That's funny. You're exactly right about that. Let's see what we got here. From Ducking and Dodgers, because Cam does it with a smile. That really burns people for some reason. Yeah, Cam has that smile thing about himself. You remember, oh boy, what was his name? Plays center fielder for the Braves. Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones had a built-in smile. This nigga could get... I did it. I apologize for that. This ninja, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, man. And Tree isn't here today to even witness it. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. For the first time in over a year, it's happened where I said the N-word. Oh, my gosh. We don't have a 7-second delay, so I couldn't delete it. All right, but it's okay. This is online radio. It's okay. It's actually okay. It's no, we don't need to call the police or anything like that. It's okay. I just, it slipped out. It slipped out. And y'all getting a kick out of it. And you listen to the Doug Stewart Show. But back to the story about Andrew Jones. And just kind of erase that out of your memory bank. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Back to the story about Andrew Jones. So Andrew Jones, this ninja had a permanent smile painted on his face no matter what he said, no matter what he did. You could punch him in the throat, and he'd still be smiling at you. Cam Newton is kind of the same way, not to that degree, but Cam always got a smile on his face. And you're right. I think that really, really boils people's blood. It burns people up. That, hey, he's doing all of these things and it's so easy for him. He's such a physical specimen. And then he has the nerve to have a smile on his face? How dare you? That's what it always seems like. It almost seems like that because he has this big smile on his face, it's even more offensive and more insulting to people. Let me read some of this chat, man. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and here we go. From KC, damn, Andrew Jones, you dropped the N-word. From Brother Babe, Doug to say he would be hungover on Wednesday. I'm not hungover. I didn't actually even have a drink last night. That slipped out. From Miss Mocabella, woo, wait a minute on us. From Jarvis J, when keeping it real goes wrong, Doug keeps it real. From Nino the Rhino, I'm offended. Here we go. Here y'all go. From the 47 problem, oh my God, I laughed out loud in my office. And the funny thing about it is when I just said it, it was like I was just in casual conversation with my boy on the telephone or something like that, where I say the word all the time, is I kept going. It took me like 2 seconds to realize that I actually said the whole word. From Chico to Alpha, hell no. The Oklahoma Sigma, BPA nominated. From Stringer, BPA nomination. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that ain't going to happen. I ain't nominating myself for a damn thing on my show. That ain't going to happen, so y'all need to stop asking. No, y'all need to stop saying. It ain't going to happen. Dobby, can't wait for the drop of that. WTF, James the big truck driver, you did it. Go to the office. Yeah, Larry is looking at me right now. For new listeners to the Doug Stewart Show, we have a benefactor here, and his name's Larry. I'm not going to give you his last name because then you might try to email him or something like that. But Larry stood up from his desk. I could see him through the windows of the studio where I do the show from, which I'm really, really working to try to build my own studio at my house, which that's going to happen before the new year. So I'm just going to get out of Larry's place. So hopefully he's not paying attention right now. But as soon as I said it, Larry stood up from his desk, and I could see him, and he put his hands on his waist like your granddaddy did when you did something wrong. Sit your ass down, Larry. From Chico the Alpha, oh yeah, that is just so funny. From Texas Tire, right, Mocha, GTFOH. From Brother Babe, it is the day after Founders Day. Doug been drinking. I have not been drinking. Studio audience, stop! Oh. From Uncle Luke, so let I get this straight. You can't smile and have a good time. You can't be angry, man, talking about injustices. What the hell can you do? And that's exactly right. That's exactly right. There's no, like, you can't win for losing. You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. From Jarvis J. Brian Hill, who dressing these young dudes? A lot of moistness going on out there. Yeah, this whole era of dressing for these young kids, I don't know how y'all even got into that conversation. This whole era of dressing for these young people, in particular with the whole saggy pants thing, I will never for the life of me understand that. I mean, and it's not even sagging no more. It's like below their butts. They are holding their pants up with their hands, and the pants is like way below their butts, and you can see their drawers. Like, you can really see some ish stains probably if you look close. And the whole skinny jeans thing, man, I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And, you know, I'm sure that the older people probably said the same thing about the way we dress with our baggy clothes and the polka dots that we did back in the early 90s and the stack platform, shiny shoes and all of that, and the rayon shirts and the African medallions. I'm sure they probably talked about us a little bit, but not like this, man. I don't know what the hell is going on with these kids and their dress and their style in 2015. Somebody posted this on my chat. In the chat room on my Facebook page, or it might have been Instagram or something like that. But they said that they're sick and tired of these haircuts. That Odell Beckham Jr. haircut that they're rocking today, and now Derrick Rose is doing it. Jimmy Butler has been doing it for a couple of years. It's kind of like a box, but it's a wild, nappy, crazy-looking box. And, like, they don't even comb it. They don't even comb it. And so I think it's kind of like a blend between a box and dreads and just the nappy head style. I don't get it. I don't get it. You ain't going to get no job walking in somebody's office with that. I'm going to tell you that right now. So I don't get it, man. And maybe, hopefully, that one will go out real fast. From 9 on the Rhino, most of these boys are being raised by girls, not women, but girls. That's a very good point. From Willie Davis, it started from the youngins not going to church. Sunday dress made the man. That's another thing. And me and Tree always get into this debate. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I actually like Impact Church, but they are very relaxed in the dress. Like the minister, Pastor Olu, the minister is actually giving a sermon in shorts and sneakers. And I know everybody says, well, come as you are, this, that, and the other. And I really don't have a problem. The word is so good, and they do just such a great job, and it's a great atmosphere at the church. I don't have a problem with that. I want to make sure that you don't get it twisted and you go back and say Doug was talking bad about Impact Church. My whole thing about that is, and I always wear a suit. I always wear a suit. I don't wear a tie, and that's taking a lot for me not to wear a tie. Once again, I'm from the country. I'm from the old school. We did things a certain way. But the thing that I think that, in my opinion, about dressing up, going to church, is that's the one place that there was a separation, there was a differentiation between the way that you normally dress and the way you're supposed to dress, okay? For boys, in particular black males. That's what I'm talking about. So now it's even skewed more with you just come to church any way you want. These kids think they can go to an interview dressed any way they want. Or they don't know that in certain different situations or in certain arenas, you need to dress a certain way. And I'm talking about coat and tie. So, you know, I'm kind of, you know, on the fence about the whole, you know, come as you are, dress any way you are, just come here to word. I get it, but I think there needs to be something in place where these young kids understand that certain places you dress one way and certain other places you dress another. This is acceptable and this isn't acceptable. And it's been skewed too much, man, in 2015. It really has been skewed too much. Yeah. I mean, I literally could go to church and like, I don't know. I could go to church in a vest with no shirt. Short pants, you know, Jordans, and nobody would be mad at me. But I don't. I still don't. When I go to church, I wear a suit because that's what you're supposed to do. That's the way I was raised. There's a certain level of respect. It's really bad, and I think my father would probably be chastising me and screaming at me if he knew I didn't wear a tie. And I wear a tie a lot of times, but sometimes I don't wear a tie, and I feel kind of funny when I walk out of the house like that. Just call me country. Don't go away. Keep it locked to the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and #1 independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! We're doing some huge things here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the Doug Stewart Show, and the biggest thing being broadcasting other shows. That's right, we're executive producing other shows and playing them on my network. You may have a fantastic show or podcast, but do you have listeners? We got listeners. Over 9,000 followers to the Doug Stewart Show on the Spreaker platform, as well as over 200,000 plus listens to the network itself. So here's what you do. Go to Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, and search the Doug Stewart Show or Stewart Media and Entertainment and get all the details. Or just hit up the producer, Tree, at TreeAtTheDougStewartShow.com. That's spelled Trei. Tree at TheDougStewartShow.com, and come and do business with us on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Break 'em.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm going to get to more of your chat here in a second. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Real interesting conversation going on in the chat room after somehow we got into, I don't even know how we even got into the conversation about these young boys and how they dress and how they wearing their hair or whatever. Once again, I know that we used to wear our pants baggy in high school. I mean, I think that's probably the first time the whole baggy style started. Like, our pants fit baggy, okay? And I remember that's the term we used to use, baggy. And I remember my old man saying, man, why you wear your pants so baggy? But it wasn't a situation where they didn't want us to wear those pants. You know, it was just different from the pants that they wore growing up. But today, these young boys, man, they've just taken it to a whole new level. So we'll get back into that. I'll also read more of your chat. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Last night, man, LeBron James passes Jerry West as 19th all-time scoring in the NBA. Next up is Reggie Miller. Last night, Cleveland Cavaliers, man, get a loss. They actually lose to the Detroit Pistons, but the big story was LeBron James passes the great Jerry West, the logo, on as 19th all-time in scoring in the NBA. So I'm looking at this, and I should have done this. Let me go ahead and grab my calculator here on my phone, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. LeBron James now has 25,213 points. He passed Jerry West, who had 25,192. So he's number 19 on the list. Number 1 on the list is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 38,000 points. 38,387 to be exact. So LeBron James is 13,000 points, a little bit over 13,000 points behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So let me do this quick here, right here. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So say LeBron James is going to average, I don't know, 20 points. Or maybe we should say 25. And I should have looked to see how many points he's averaging right now. But let's just say LeBron James averages 20 points a game, or 25 points. Let's do 25 points. 25 points a game for the next, what? How many more years you think he got where he's going to be at the top of his game like he is now? And he's actually declining a little bit right now with the back injuries and the issues that he's had physically this year. And last year, you can go back to last year as well, where he missed all that time and went to Miami and did something down there and came back and turned into Superman. I don't know. But let's just say he averages 25 points a game, 82 games a year, probably another, let's just throw out 20 games in the playoffs a year. So you're talking about 100 games a year at 25 points, 100 times 25. And I need to do this. I'm not great at math. So that's like 2,500 points a year that he's going to average for like the next 4 years. You think LeBron James got 4 years averaging 25 points? All right, let's just say 5 years times 5. That's 12,500 points. If you add 12,500 points to what he has right now, which is, once again, the number I just gave, 25,213 plus 25,000, and I should have done this earlier. So you put him right at 37,000 points. I think the numbers that I gave are actually a little bit high because his point production is probably going to go down over the next couple of years. And I don't know if he has 5 years left. So if he's averaging like 25 this year, he'll probably go down to 23 next year, 21 the year after that, 19. So he's not going to catch Kareem. And I almost think that we don't, like Kareem and the big men are penalized because they're big, because they were so dominant. But think about that. LeBron James is pretty damn good. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Like a lot of people argue he's the best basketball player of all time. He's not even close to Kareem. And he's got to have a Herculean effort for the next 4, 5, 6 years. He's going to have to play 6, 7, 8 more years at average numbers like 18, 19 points a game to come close to Kareem. Why don't we show more love to Jab? Why are we so fickle in the way that we look back at Kareem's career? Now, I'll tell you this, and I've told the story before, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. A lot of the issues Kareem has as far as his legacy in basketball, I believe, and I never thought this before I met the man, but I believe it's because of him. Kareem is kind of standoffish. Quick story, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Back in like 2005, me and my brother, a lot of you have heard the story, but we have a lot of new listeners once again, a lot of new people that never listened to the Two Live Stews or the Doug Stewart Show. But like in 2005, me and Ryan actually promoted, and we weren't part of it. We didn't sign no damn books, but we were just out there and greeting and, you know, kind of like a meet and greet type thing. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had a book come out, and it was like a Barnes & Noble or something like that here in Metro Atlanta. So we went out there, and we actually got to meet Kareem. You know, I'm a Lakers fan. You know, since like 82, I'm a Lakers fan. So, I mean, I was like a kid in the candy store. Hey, Kareem, I love your game. You're the bestest basketball player in the history of the NBA. Can you sign my book for me? Kareem looks at me like, if you don't get out of my damn face. This is a true story. Like, I'm showing reverence to this guy. I'm like, man, Kareem, this is a big deal. And he just kind of like really doesn't, he didn't even look me in the face. He doesn't look me in the face. You know, okay, first of all, I'm kind of working with him. We're kind of like co-workers at this point. And then I come out and say I'm a big Laker fan. I usually don't run up on celebrities and cats like this. I don't really play people like that. I don't really jock people like that. But this is Kareem. Okay? You know, this is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm a Lakers fan. And he kind of like plays me to the left like, man, can you stay away from me? Like, if he had security, I think he probably would have sicked his security on me, man. That's how bad it was, and I kind of felt real bad. I kind of felt low. I kind of felt real low. And like, damn, Kareem, you ain't had to do a ninja like that. I'm telling you, Kareem is a very smart person, very progressive. You know, he's been part of the movement since the 60s. But Kareem is kind of like an ornery type, standoffish type dude. And you had heard that. I had heard all of that stuff before, but I always judge people and athletes in particular, you know, from my personal experience with them. You know, I don't listen to that because a lot of people are just haters. A lot of people, especially in this industry, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, a lot of my co-workers or my peers in this industry, they're mad and they're jealous at athletes, so they're going to have a negative attitude towards them. I remember the cats I used to work with at the last station, they hated Reggie Jackson. You know, and I don't know why, because Reggie Jackson flipped his bat, that whole same thing we talked about with Cam Newton. But they hated Reggie Jackson. I never would hate somebody until I actually meet them, you know. And all of the stuff that I've heard about Kareem, man, from my experience is true. And I think that's part of the reason why we don't respect him and celebrate his career. Kareem's got 38,000 points. And ain't nobody close. Like, there's nobody that's going to come close. Kobe is third all time with 32,000 points. He's 6,000 points away from Kareem. You know good and well Kobe ain't going to score no 6,000 points in the rest of his career. It's a wrap. It's a RAP. It's a RAP. So, you know, it's kind of on one hand, I feel bad that we don't celebrate Kareem and the great career that he had and how dominant he was. But on the other hand, I kind of get it. That he isn't celebrated the way that we probably should, man. That's a true story. That's a Dougie true story right there, man. I'm still scarred by that day, man. I'm still scarred by that day. I'm a grown-ass man, and you kind of played me to the left like some sucker. Like, he didn't even speak to me. I think he's like, hey, thank you. And just went on back to what he was doing. And it wasn't a situation where I misunderstood or I interrupted him from doing something or whatever and I was rude. No. We kind of got, like, introduced from the advertiser that we were there with. I think somebody like advertised it or sponsored it. Somebody sponsored it. There was a company that sponsored this whole thing to bring us down from the radio station. And Kareem played me to the left, man, like some sucker. Now, I ain't never played no NBA, but you don't treat me on any old kind of way. You know, I said it earlier. I love me some me. And I really think highly of myself. Okay? And don't treat me like some old chumpy. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Hey, I'm reading this chat. Y'all crazy. Y'all are crazy. I'm going to read some of this chat when we get back from the break, man. We'll talk a little NBA. A little bit more NBA. Porzingis. That kid Porzingis is the real deal, man. We'll talk about the night he had last night. Johnny Manziel's in the news. Some good news for him. Don't go away. Keep it locked. This is the Doug Stewart Show. We're back. The Two Live Stews are back on air every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on WGST. It's sports talk with hot sauce. Special thanks to our sponsor, Bruce Hagen at Hagen-Law.com for making it happen.
640 WGST in Atlanta. Search 640 WGST on iHeartRadio worldwide.
Yes! In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your number one advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975 and work it out.
Still heartbroken after getting dissed by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, man, on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Thank you for joining your folk. Yeah. Y'all got jokes in this chat room. I open up my soul to y'all, and this how y'all do me? This how y'all do me? Clowning me? Oh, yeah, I forgot yesterday. I talked about how we clown each other in America. But that was something totally different. That was, Wanda Rousey talking ish, and then she got her ass whooped. When a kid gets dissed by his childhood hero, man, I mean, that's not bad. You shouldn't clown a brother off of that. New York Knicks last night beat the Charlotte Hornets 102-94. The big story, though, continues to be Kristaps Porzingis. I think that's the way you pronounce that dude's name. 29 points, 11 boards, 1 block. He actually is the leading scorer for the New York Knicks. Carmelo Anthony, that's probably one of the first times in the last couple of years Carmelo Anthony wasn't the leading scorer or the go-to guy. Carmelo had 18 points. He had more minutes, 37 minutes. Porzingis only had 31 minutes. But let me just say this. Right now, the Knicks are on pace to win like 40 games this year. They're 6-6 on the year. They're 6-6 on the year. And The Porzingis kid is for real. I mentioned it at the top of the show. In my keeper league, I actually took a flyer on him, and I drafted him way earlier than the ratings had him set at. Once again, it's a keeper league, so you got to kind of take chances on young guys, and hopefully they'll develop. It's a sleeper. And, man, I think I hit the jackpot with this dude, man. I think I hit the jackpot with this dude. And the reason I took him is because I looked at how bad the Knicks were last year. I know that Phil Jackson wants to shake things up. I know that he really doesn't want Carmelo Anthony. If they can find a deal for him at the trade deadline, he'll be gone, sure as ish. Sure as my name ain't Sam. I don't know if that's going to happen because of the contract. But I know they really don't want Carmelo Anthony. They're trying to build from the ground up. That's Phil's thing. Because Porzingis' skill level, man, is just, if you saw the video of the guy before the draft, and he's 7 foot tall, and he can handle the ball, he can shoot the three. And then the thing about him that makes him different from most of these other European players is his aggressiveness. Like you've seen several times this year, he's gone over dude's back and dunked on him. That's not the style of game that we're used to seeing from European players. And so, in my mind, I felt like that the New York Knicks were going to give him all the opportunity in the world to shine. He's starting. He's a starter from day one, and he's got the skill set. Now, I've been wrong about several players, but I think I got this one right, man, and I hate to say it because I guess technically I'm a New York Knicks hater, but I think y'all got y'all man. I think this is the guy. I think y'all good. Yeah, I think y'all are good. This kid can play, man, and he's skinny as all get up right now. He's going to add probably, 20, 25 pounds over the next couple of years, and he's going to be even better. So I think y'all got a good player, man. 6-6 on the year, and we'll see. We're going to keep our eyes on him. And let me go to some of your chat here in the chat room. Y'all funny. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Clay Davis' sheet advisor, Ty, someone would agree with what you said. No spouse or child deserves to be attacked. I don't know what you're talking about. From 9-0 the Rhino, Hawks should go after Melo. In talking with people, and I've talked about it on this show as well, it seems like a perfect fit for Carmelo would be Chicago. That's where a lot of people thought he should have signed as a free agent anyway, but he had to get that money. I'm not mad at him for that. I think a perfect fit would be in Chicago. Speaking of the Atlanta Hawks, they go down last night, 90-88 in a close one to the Brooklyn Nets. You always hate to lose to Joe Johnson. But if you look at the Atlanta Hawks, man, center position, Thiago Splitter, Paul Millsap. Yeah. Dennis Schroeder, point guard. Jeff Teague is injured right now. Al Horford at the center position. And then you got Kyle Korver at the small guard, the shooting guard. Now, no disrespect to Kyle Korver. Fantastic three-point shooter. Marksman. He's kind of like the rifleman. He's kind of like the modern-day Chuck Persons. But Kyle Korver shouldn't be a starting two-guard in the NBA right now. I mean, he just shouldn't be. He's just not. He's a bench player, but he's the best player we have at that position. Yeah, I like that. Carmelo Anthony, and that's another thing we need. That's a big thing we need in Atlanta, too. Even though the Hawks have won a lot of games over the last couple of years, it's something missing with the Hawks that doesn't make them can't miss. And what it is a star. People are very materialistic in this city. Everybody trying to be a rapper, everybody trying to be an actor or whatever, man. They call it Black Hollywood. And the Hawks need a star. I mean, I'm trying to figure what's the reason why they aren't a bigger buzz in this city, and it's because we need a star. We need a Dominique Wilkins. And Carmelo, he's no Dominique in my mind, but Carmelo is kind of a big thing in the sports world. I would love that. I like that. That's a good idea, 9-0 the Rhino. From Vince Wright, I love Texas good eats. Texas Ty, being white, conservative-minded in Texas, I hear a lot of hate. From Vince Wright, yeah, spouses don't ask for that. I don't know what these guys are talking about. From Uncle Luke Kareem, listen, kid, tell your old man to drag Walton and Lanier. Tell your old man to drag Walton and Lanier up and down the court for 48 minutes. Classic line from Airplane. I get you, Uncle Mike. Uncle Mike, your ass is still nominated for a Ball Penis Award, though. Don't try to get on my good side now. If you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, we do this thing every Friday called the Boiled Penis Award. It's a long story behind the name. Trust me, it's kind of funny. But it in effect goes to the Buster of the Week in sports, entertainment, and beyond. And in this case, Uncle Mike saying that Krispy Kreme donuts are kind of good or they were okay. He got nominated earlier for a Boiled Penis Award. From Clay Davis' Sheet Advisor, that ninja, I remember the black players had a conference in the 60s talking about Kareem, I guess. I mentioned him earlier, being down for the movement. From KC, Chuchi, why throw shots at Michelle? If Carson's wife can't sing, she can't sing. I don't know what they're talking about, Ben Carson and his wife, which is crazy. I haven't really talked a lot about Ben Carson. Once again, obviously, I don't pay attention to politics. Obviously, because I'm too busy paying attention to sports, but I know what's going on. And just like I thought this whole thing, I gave you my commentary on Ben Carson. Just like up until I actually saw him listed and standing up there taking place in a debate, how I thought this whole Donald Trump thing was a joke. I never really thought it was true. I thought the whole thing was a joke until he actually was invited in and participated in a debate. That's kind of like the same way I feel about this Ben Carson thing. And if clearly the guy is some type of neurosurgeon, he's a smart guy, but medicine has nothing to do with politics and knowing the issues and being a politician. Nothing. You might be smart as hell, but that don't mean you should be president of the United States. Yeah. Just because you know how to save lives doesn't mean you understand about international policy and issues and healthcare and all of the different dynamics of social issues in this country that a president has to deal with. You just can't come up off the street, from doing a surgery on somebody and think you're going to be president of these here United States of America, Jack. But evidently in the polls, he's pretty high on the voters' polls for the Republicans, for the Republican Party. Okay. All right. Yeah. And this man clearly don't know the issues. This man's been asked about several different issues over the last couple of months, and he's like, I really can't answer that right now. I'll get back to you. What? You can't get back to somebody when you're talking about the issues and you're trying to be president? Yeah, so the whole Ben Carson thing, man, and Donald Trump thing, it just speaks to where we are in this country. 2015. We are living in a time, Fessa. We are living in a time. How about that? What up, Falcons? Doug, I hate to say it, but a friend of mine once told me you did the same thing to him in the elevator at the other station when he spoke to you. I don't believe that. I don't treat anybody like that. From Juan Cruz, I heard Mad Dog Russo and how intimidated he was having him in studio a few years back. I can believe it. Miss Mocabella, Doug hasn't gotten over Kareem, Paul Pierce, Dwight Howard disrespecting Stools. You got it exactly right. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, the Paul Pierce thing and the Dwight Howard thing are a little bit different than the Kareem thing, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. The reason being is because I was actually a fan of Kareem, Those other guys, I could give a rat's ass about them and what they think about the Stews or trying to disrespect the Stews or anything like that. I don't have a problem with that. But Kareem, that really hurt. That really hurt. That really hurt your boy. From KC, Doug was probably wearing his Kareem jersey under his suit that day Kareem dissed him. No, I didn't actually have on a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar jersey. Grego, no lie or joke. When I first saw Carson's wife, the skit was funny. Damn, what are they talking about? What happened with Ben Carson? From KC, Doug needs to go into therapy. Clearly, Kareem is still in his head. Yeah, I probably do need some type of therapy. I probably do. From KC, from Ducking and Dodging. Durant had a good chance, but I'm not sure he's going to stay healthy enough. Oh, I think he's talking about scoring, the scoring title. I mentioned earlier how far Kareem is ahead of anybody, but that's part of the equation, brother, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Part of the equation is health and being able to go out there and play and to produce. So that's 100% part of the equation. I mean, it's part of the equation right now for Kobe. You know? He hadn't been healthy. Kobe hasn't finished a season, I think, in the last 3 years. That is part of the equation, is health, longevity. And Kareem was the absolute best at longevity and the best at that sky hook. Thus, he's the all-time scoring leader. Don't go away. When we get back from the break, more of your chat. We'll also quickly talk about Johnny Manziel. Don't go away. Keep it locked. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-file, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
Vegas, I believe, is the only state, or Nevada is the only state where they have legalized prostitution in these whorehouses, and they call them brothels. And it's not in the city limits of Vegas in that particular county. It's like the next county over, and I've just heard all of this on the street. I just heard about this, but this is how it actually is. So like one county over, if you drive, and I think this story said it's like 70 miles where Lamar Odom was found. This next county over, they have legalized whorehouses. The technical term is brothels. Yes, Tree.
I mean, I'm going to say something that may surprise you. To be honest with you, like, they need to legalize it everywhere because...
Whoa. Wait a minute, Aunt Esther.
No. This is real talk here.
Okay.
The government has no business telling people where they can fling their cat, get their vitamin D. It's not up to the government to decide that. So... while I wouldn't choose that as my lifestyle, shout out to Nevada for understanding that that's that woman's body.
Yeah.
And she can do what she wants with it.
In theory, I 100% agree with you. I didn't know we were going to start this social conversation on whores and whorehouses in America, but I agree with you, Tree.
I'm telling you, just stop it, government, and legalize the kitty.
Legalize? Wait a minute. I think we got a new moniker now for the show. Legalize the kitty.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. We're doing some huge things here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the Doug Stewart Show, and the biggest thing being broadcasting other shows. That's right, we're executive producing other shows and playing them on my network. You may have a fantastic show or podcast, but do you have listeners? We got listeners. Over 9,000 followers to the Doug Stewart Show on the Spreaker platform, as well as over 200,000 plus listens to the network itself. So here's what you do. Go to Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, and search The Doug Stewart Show or Stewart Media and Entertainment and get all the details. Or just hit up the producer, Tree at TheDougStewartShow.com. That's spelled Trei. Tree at TheDougStewartShow.com, and come and do business with us on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes! Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Wild Out Wednesday. Thank you for joining your boy. If you haven't done it, man, make sure to go to iTunes, man, and rate the Doug Stewart Show. Give it a quick review as well. Just a couple of words, 2-3 words. That's all that matters. We really would appreciate it. And also, have you gotten your Doug Stewart Show t-shirt? We still got a couple more t-shirts left that we're trying to move out of here. So if you haven't gotten your t-shirt, man, if you donate $20 or more to the Doug Stewart Show, we will send you a t-shirt. And it's just to say thank you and help support independent radio. We really would appreciate it. The NFL said Tuesday will not discipline Cleveland Browns quarterback Johnny Manziel for an October driving incident involving his girlfriend. It went into this long spiel about how, consistent with the procedures of the league's personal conduct policy, we have examined the available evidence regarding the recent incident involving Johnny Manziel. Our investigation included a thorough review of information from law enforcement and our own interviews with multiple individuals. And they went a long way to basically say we're not going to press charges. No charges were filed against Manziel following the October 12th incident in which witnesses reported him driving dangerously on an interstate highway. His girlfriend, Colleen Crowley, said he had beaten her in the car and pushed her head against the glass, but she later declined to press charges. After questioning both Manziel and Crowley, police in Avon, Ohio, allowed the couple to leave together to go to Manziel's home. Police smelled alcohol on Manziel's breath, but did not give him a field sobriety test because he showed no signs of inebriation. Hey, listen, it is what it is. But all the details of this story, to me, sound exactly like Greg Hardy. And I do mean exactly. Now, Greg Hardy had to actually go and settle a court case, but ultimately his girlfriend declined to testify, just like Johnny Manziel's girlfriend, you know? And because of this, Greg Hardy was suspended 4 games. The NFL isn't going to do anything. Now, maybe there are some slight differences in the story. Obviously, it was to a much larger scale in talking about the Greg Hardy story. But Johnny Manziel's girlfriend is on record, just like Ray Rice's girlfriend was on record, and just like this young lady was on record for Greg Hardy. And you know what happened to both of those guys. This girlfriend is on record. She changed her mind later and didn't want to talk about it, you know, for whatever reason. I mean, you can guess on why, because clearly, you know, she didn't want to get the guy in trouble. But she's on record saying he slammed my head on the car glass window. He beat me. But the whole story is being reported and talked about much differently than those other guys. From that ninja, more chat before I get out of here, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From that ninja, y'all fall for the propaganda. The media shows negative Melo highlights, and y'all, this damn rookie is better than him, stupid. Now, I'm assuming that you're talking about somebody in the chat room says that the rookie is better than him, because I didn't say that. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah, I didn't say anything about Porzingis being better than Carmelo. What I said, and once again, I'm going to assume that, Ninja, that you're not talking about me, that somebody else in the chat room is saying that Porzingis is better than Carmelo. What I said is I do believe that the New York Knicks should build around Porzingis. And clearly Carmelo isn't in their future. Phil Jackson doesn't like him. If they could get rid of him, they would. But yeah, I feel like that they got a pick right, which they haven't done a lot of over the last couple of years. I think the Porzingis kid can play. I never said that he's a better basketball player than Carmelo Anthony. Don't get it twisted. From KC, She said it. Manziel was drinking. Johnny paid her. She don't want to press charges. It's the same scenario. The exact same scenario. This is the exact same scenario. From Ms. Mocabella, the media kept Johnny Manziel's situation under the rug. From Clay Davis' sheet advisor, you guys do know Ben Carson will not win the presidency. This is a money grab for him. Yeah, it probably is at the end of the day all about selling books. I get that. But the polls say that he has some, his campaign has some legs. Like these Gallup polls are showing that people would vote for Ben Carson. What? Yeah. I don't know. It looks like y'all still talking about that. From Al Thompson, exactly, Doug. I guess we can wait for the pics to surface. Yeah. So that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen for Johnny Manziel is somehow TMZ is going to have to get their hands on pictures before the NFL does something in this case in particular. Because they didn't need pictures or anything before in Greg Hardy. Now, you keep in mind, these pictures are about Greg Hardy, and I'm not defending Greg Hardy. I need to say that right now before I get going too far. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You're not defending Greg Hardy. I got daughters. I already said, whatever happened, let the chips fall where they may for Greg Hardy. I'm not defending him. I'm talking about these stories. This is what I do around here, okay? It didn't take the NFL to see the pictures or to get a conviction on Greg Hardy to suspend his ass for 4 games. It didn't. It didn't. Why is that? Like Arsenio said, it makes you go, Darian Finley, Shaq's career statistics, points, 28,000. He's talking about points. I guess they're debating about Shaq and his career. From Chuchi, from That Ninja, says, Chuchi, when Michael Brown got killed, he called the black police, the black people that rioted thugs, didn't say ish about the police. I don't know who they're talking about. Clay Davis' sheet advice. This is the bad part about me trying to review the chat is a lot of it doesn't have context because you're talking about something I didn't see. I apologize for that, but I'm doing the best I can. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Dorian Finley, Kareem, career points. He already talked about that. From Clay Davis' sheet advisor, Texas, Oklahoma plays number 6 Oklahoma State, which will be impressive. Yeah, that's the thing about the Oklahoma State plays Baylor this weekend, I believe. Oklahoma, who's everybody's sweetheart for the last couple of weeks, have been doing a great job. They take on TCU, and then they have the game that they play against each other. What's it called? Bedlam? Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. So the winner of that game probably is going to get that 4th spot in the Final Four. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Bussa. Doug, I was in the elevator with Melba Moore, and she ignored the hell out of me. I hate her ass to this. That's not comparable to my Kareem story, though. I actually spoke to Kareem, and I don't think he even looked up at me. I don't think he even said a word to me, man. And it still hurts today. It still hurts. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I got to get over that. And really, I don't talk about it. It kind of applied today for the conversation. I don't care. I don't give a rat's ass Kareem didn't talk to me. But that's a true story. It kind of talked about why I believe Kareem doesn't get the respect that he deserves because, for the most part, Kareem's personality is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Ishy. The best way I can say it. Yeah. I already used the N-word one time today. I almost just said S-H-I asterisk. Y'all never gonna let me live that down. Tree wasn't here today to clown me on that. I'm glad. I don't know. Maybe for 2015, maybe I'll use the N-word more. Flip it a little bit. Maybe we'll really turn into the HBO of sports talk radio. You know, you got reporting, you got Sports Center on, cable TV. Clearly they don't cuss. And then on HBO, you got Brian Gumbel's Real Sports. And Brian Gumbel uses cuss words sometimes. Maybe we should do more like Brian Gumbel and cuss more. Yes! Hey, vote on that. Should I be more casual with using cuss words? N-word, have you? Or do you like it just the way I do it right now? I can adapt. I mean, really, that would be more natural for me anyway because that's kind of how I talk off the radio. So actually, it'd be okay with me. What do y'all think? Hey, thank you so much for joining into the Doug Stewart Show, man. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all of the Stewies, man, listening and tuning into the show. Thank you very much. Shouts out to the Tree of Life, even though she wasn't here. Thank you, Tree. I really appreciate what you do. Shouts out to Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Vasson, Gerald Oliveri. Thank you so much, engineers to the show. Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hey, man, if you like to do business with the Doug Stewart Show or the Two Live Stews, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. We can interview you on the network. We can promote you on our social media. We do voiceovers. We'll broadcast your show on the network if you have a podcast or something like that. I can host or speak at your event. That's another gig that we got going on Fiverr.com as well. That's right. Host or speak at your event. We can even play your music on the show. That's another new gig that we have going on Fiverr.com. Are you an artist, rapper? You got some good music. You trying to get it out to the masses? How will we play breaks or music coming back from the breaks? We can play your music as well. We do it all on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, all right? So if you want to do business with us, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, doug@thedougstewartshow.com. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace.